from Dell PC.
Hi everyone, this is Rahul, and let's begin the analysis for this week. So let's start with Nifty Index. What we see here, let's first remove all the indicators and let's start with pure price action. Let's see what the candlesticks are telling us from the chart. Now, if you see this chart, let us try to identify what are the levels where the price can reach, right? So we're just zooming out first and just marking the previous swings to understand the support and resistance levels. So we see 9,160 was a range, a previous swing high. Then we have a couple of swings which have been formed in this area, especially at this price. Yes, and then we also have this as a good range, a good resistance. So we can adjust it a little bit just so that it can, more of the swings can be captured. Right. So what you see here is looking at the candlestick. So we have broken through the next resistance that was evident on the chart. Price is already at 10,142, and this entire area, this is a zone of resistance. Now, since we have this entire area as a zone of resistance, the price can play anything in in this entire range and then fall, right? So mostly what I'm expecting is that the market should touch the highest resistance here, which is at 10,617, which is also acting as a very good support previously, which was broken when the fall happened due to COVID. So we're going to retest that level before the downtrend resumes, right? Only thing is, since it's a good resistance zone, we have multiple resistance areas. So we also have a minor resistance here at 10,300, right? So price needs to first break through this. So there is a good possibility that for this week, we can see the market coming up till 10,300 and then retesting 10,142, 10,100 range, and then moving up to 10,600. All right, eventually finding resistance at 10,600 and then dropping. So what I'm expecting is the price should be doing something like this, where it goes to the next immediate minor resistance, does a pullback, and then goes to next resistance. From here, this should be the highest price looking at the previous resistance, right? You never know, it might even spike higher, but as of now, looking at the charts, this seemed like a very good resistance area, right? So like we discussed earlier, we were looking for a good price to short. Yes, it is going higher and higher, so we haven't gotten a good price, better price, in fact a confirmed price to short. We are getting higher prices, but there could be a long opportunity this week. If you do see the price playing at 10,100, you could get in for a buy, but only with a target of 10,600. So a short-term buy, all right? Don't expect it to run for too long. Get in quickly, get out quickly. That would be the plan for Nifty. Now, let us also take a look at this in a simpler way, which is just by removing all this and just adding our moving averages. All right, so this is a weekly chart. What you see here is we have a good resistance, which is the 200-day moving average here at 10,238, which has been respected as of now, right? So that's what we see on the weekly chart. Now, as the next resistance on the weekly chart is at 10,731. Now, as you move to the daily time frame, you can see we have the 200-day moving average at 10,581. So this acts as a very strong level because the 200-day moving average is respected a lot, especially on a higher time frame like the daily chart. You can see earlier as well, it has been respected very well all throughout. Yes, so since the weekly chart has not closed above its resistance, it's still below, there is another possibility that the market can definitely spike till 10,590 or 10,600, but it is also possible that it can spike and come back down. So this could be a fast movement as well, right? The reason I'm saying that is because we have not seen a close above the 200-day moving average. So we can see the next week, the candle making a movement till here and then getting rejected from this price, sellers coming in and pushing the price back, and then candle still closing here as a rejection. That's a good possibility to happen this week. If there's not much momentum, not much news, it might take some time as well. So anyways, things are pretty clear. We are looking at the market moving up till 10,580, 10,600 range. That's the first plan of action. After it reaches that level, we are looking to the market to reverse, either go sideways or go reverse, but not go up further. So that's what you have to keep in mind and plan your trades accordingly, right? Ideal scenario would be that we get a retracement so we can go long before we can short. So that's the plan for Nifty. Now let's take a look at Bank Nifty. We'll just try to check the previous resistance support area from the weekly chart first before moving into our moving averages. Now, if you see Nifty, the fall has been very sharp, but the correction has not been the way that we saw on, sorry, if you see Bank Nifty, the correction is not the way we saw on Nifty, right? On Nifty, it has pulled back up from the level it broke, but here it is still playing at the bottom. So what this tells us is that Bank Nifty is much more weaker in comparison to the Nifty Index. So we are expecting a lot of downward movement on Bank Nifty because the retracement is not much. I think it's not even. It should be about 38% retracement. Yes, less than 38% retracement if you see, right? That indicates that we have a lot of bearish momentum on this. The bias is definitely bearish. So Bank Nifty, it is better to be on the selling side. Now, this particular area that we see here, the previous swing high, which was formed in 2015, this is acting as a good resistance. So we had a candle closing above this previously, but now it's still at the same level. So what Bank Nifty is doing is it has actually made a range for itself. Now the next resistance that we see here is this level, which is at 23,844, right? But that will only happen if the current resistance of 21,000 is broken. So we can clearly say that there is a range in Nifty, right? It has made a range for itself and it's quite sideways. So it's best to play within the range. You can see the range more clearly on the daily time frame, right? So it has already gone sideways and it's made a range for itself. It's best to play with the range. That means when the market reaches the resistance here and gives us a rejection or a reversal signal like we see in the previous scenarios, you can look at a short, but a short-term one. Okay, now let's see what our moving averages are saying. Okay, this is a daily chart. Before coming back to a daily chart, let's first see weekly. So we have a good resistance at the weekly chart. We have the 62 moving average here. Price is getting rejected here. On the daily chart, if you check, again, we have strong resistance, right? So I would say it is best to short Bank Nifty at a little higher, say around 22,000 range, because we have to see this consolidation and plan according to this consolidation. Right? So I'm not at all bullish on Bank Nifty, but try not to be on the buying side. If you do get a better price to sell, you can definitely short. So I would be on the selling side for Bank Nifty. Now there is one stock that I want to check for today, which is Bajaj Auto, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm interested in this. See, if you see this move, it is showing us a lot of rejection, a strong rejection candle on the weekly chart, which is at the 200-day moving average, right? And also, if we check our Fibonacci, it has done a retracement of the golden ratio, the 61.8%. So this is a good level from where it can get rejected, right? So we will be looking at a short in Bajaj Auto. But if you do take a look at the daily chart, we have the market moving up and then getting into a small range of itself, right? So although it is definitely bearish, but because of this sideways movement, there is a possibility that it could be range bound for some time before it falls. So you have to accordingly plan your entries. I would not short this immediately on Monday, but if you're getting a better, if you're playing in options and you're getting a good premium to short Bajaj Auto, that would make sense. However, you should be looking at a longer expiry, at least a month. Yeah, so here monthly expiry would make ideal sense, and since we are beginning of the month, it makes more sense to hold it. We have more time, and time decay would not be an issue. All right, so that's it for now. Bank Nifty, Bajaj Auto, all three bearish, but Nifty for now can do a further upward move before getting into the buying side. So if you get a good long opportunity on Nifty, try and grab it, but with a tight stop loss. And at around 10,600 levels, we will be looking to go short on Nifty. That's all for now. Thank you guys. See you next week. Bye.